You'd like to roll into the rings off this, but you don't have to roll very far in, just enough to nibble, and you don't want to jam it on that red that, even from this camera angle, looks like it's touching the divider, but they haven't kicked it off, so it must not be.
I don't know if I love this. They still have that freezer on the rock that's, as you said, not in play, but is it not in play?
Yeah. Well, and it's so close to the line they just played, too. It's not like it wouldn't be a total guess for the line. They didn't even scare it. Oh, maybe they did. Didn't look like it touched, but again, as I said, it looked like it was touching that rock the whole time. Pardon me, touching the divider. They still got the yellow on the other side they can get around. Well, that one really curled on them. They end up on the corner guard. Nothing in the rings. It'll give Rylan Kleiter the simple opportunity to throw this through. The game I just had in the quarterfinal, it was, in the last game of the round robin was very straight from the outside in, and saw somebody with an opportunity for a blank throw one from the inside out just to get an idea how they run. And here you see Rylan Kleiter doing the same thing. You don't get very many chances to throw this inside out turn. So when you get a free one, you'd like to see how this is going to run. Two teams here looking for that last playoff spot tomorrow morning. We've got no score after the opening end of play. Rylan Kleiter with last rock again in the second.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Underway already here in the second end. First stone thrown to the back of the 4-foot. Corner guard goes up. Now Aaron Schutra throwing the lead stones. hoping this stone stops short of the rings and touching the center line, but it's going to fail on both counts. Slides into the 12-foot, just off center. Lead for the Kleiter team is Trevor Johnson. He's trying now to come around his corner guard. Not going to get by, and a little light as well. It does end up as a second corner. Not the start either team was really looking for here in this end, but we do have some rocks in play. Jaden Schwaga throwing the second stones, looking to guard up those two stones in the rings. Now this is also the fifth stone of the end, so we might see some play on the guard if he makes a good one here. Overcurled the rocks of the rings. He does have a good piece of the center line, and it's getting hard to find a way in, so Rylan Kleiter will indeed ask second man Matthew Hall to try to make a few red ones go away. They're lined up. Daniel, it looks like he could get all three of them if he hits this just right. No, just drives it by the one at the top of the 12-foot, though. I think that's the subtle way of trying to tell him he didn't hit the broom on the last one. Going to overcurl just a little bit again.
Still going to see Kleiter go for the run back, though.
Yeah. Now this one, just with where it is, if he's
close to the shooter,
yeah, well, he might come off the back end of his own.
You gotta be pretty thin with that, though.
I think half is it's going to touch your own. I don't know where it'll end up. He's looking for a lot thicker than that, obviously. Well, he moves all three of them, but only killed one and left both of them in the rings.
A really good toss, just an unfortunate result.
Yeah. These two teams, of course, looking for the 8th and final playoff spot. There were two teams that went through the round-robin portion undefeated, Bruce Cordy and Dustin Kaltoff. And Bruce Cordy, by virtue of having a better draw to the button score, will be the number 1 seed in the playoffs. So he actually is waiting, although probably not not overly urgent that he's waiting for it. He's waiting to find out which one of these teams he's playing in the morning. But it's a 9:30 game, as you said, local time. So I don't imagine he's going to stay up to find out. He'll let it be a surprise in the morning.
Imagine some of those guys are already asleep.
Yeah, you know what? I know Bruce Cordy's team pretty well, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out that they're still in the lounge, but they probably aren't staying for the end of this game.
I really like this ball by Kleiter just to open it up.
Well, and he could get a yellow going into the rings, and it does, but it's going to spin all the way through the back.
The Kleiter team definitely has a way in now at minimum.
Yeah. Trying to get some curl on this now. They need to cover that stone at the back of the 4, and it will.
I think goal 3 is a bit of a wishful call, but I definitely like it more than two top guards.
Yeah, it's there. Any 2 rocks is good right now, to be honest. You get the 2 at the top, he guards it. You can get around to that back one again and maybe set up the score yet.
Or the blank's back in play.
Or the blank is back in play.
Everyone's favorite word in curling these days.
It's almost getting to be a dirty word. Josh Mattern. Big weight on the first one. Big weight here again on the second one. Moved a lot of ground on the first. Trying to move a little more here. He's got 1. He's got 2. By the stone at the back of the 4-foot, but still after the 2 stones for Mattern, things a lot more clean for the Kleiter team.
Height changing gears a little bit. Best offense or best guard is second shot here.
Yeah, you kind of have to. If you guard a stone in the back of the 4-foot, Rylan's just going to draw, and you might force him to score 2. You're trying not to do that. Tyler Hartung throwing the 4th stones for this team. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Does not want to be behind the tee line on this.
Looks like it's slowing down enough in time.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's why they're out there.
Yeah.
Yep, this is definitely worthwhile risk.
Yeah, it's looking like you're going to get forced here anyway, but if you make a good draw, the stone at the back of the 4-foot's always open, and Hartung's going to have to be very careful with his final stone not to leave some kind of a double. You have to think he's coming in. I can't imagine he's going to guard a stone at the back 4-foot.
Be tough to see. And Tyler just showed Rylan how to make this shot too.
Yeah. Well, you get frozen on half of this, then for Tyler's last shot to be any good, he's got to almost bite 4-foot. Well, where do you put it almost biting 4-foot that doesn't leave a double? That'll be the trick.
Sounds like they like it.
Well, that's tight to the guard. He's got to stay on the corner. Boy, that's really good.
That is fantastic. I definitely like
Is
this
it?
call.
Well, I'm not sure I do yet. I need to see where the guard is. Give me the hack view. There we go. If you're up there, do you not think that Rylan can come down with hack weight, come off of his own onto the stone at the back of the forefoot?
Seeing how that last one curled, you're probably right. Will he have enough speed to kick it out? Probably.
But
Right.
he'd only need to move it to about 1.5 feet.
You can see a piece of that yellow from the hack.
Yeah.
Even if you bounce a hair here, it's not the end of the world.
He's got to stay on the inside for sure. You get to the nose on this one, you're not second shot. He's got a lot more room right now, but I think it will curl from the hog line in. Oh,
That's good enough to probably good enough to make Kleiter not want to take a run at it. Steel's
Is it?
not good. Steel's no good here.
yeah. Nose hit on the red would be awful close to getting them both, though.
Is it worth the risk though? You still could jam.
Yeah. Well, your worst you're ever given up is 1. But you're right. It almost looks like it would dead jam, doesn't it?
Basically, you lose your
If
hammer advantage by doing that.
if it's any thinner on the yellow, it might be worthwhile. But
Yeah.
I think you're right. It kind of looks like it's going right into the other one. He didn't look at it too long, anyway.
I think that's one. If Rylan even looked at it, Matt probably would have said something. Looking pretty good here.
It is a single point on the board for Rylan Kleiter. He takes the first lead of the game. Drew Heidt will have last rock for the first time as well when we come back for the third.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world #1 Team Homan takes on world #1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Oh, looks like they left the stage. Wonder what I can do with that.
Third end action here. Already underway. We've got center guard up. You saw the corner just go up, and now the attempted come around. And just before the break, didn't have time to mention it then, breaking news as we find out that we mentioned off the top, Matthew Hall missed part of his game this afternoon for a gambling emergency. And apparently also on the other side of it, Drew Heidt had to leave the Jelly Roll concert early to come and curl this game. So, extra pressure on his team because he had to leave the concert. You guys better perform. It's interesting, though, when you hear that you find out Drew was the only one that had to. So apparently he didn't take any of his teammates to the Jelly Roll concert with him.
That's a bit rude.
Yeah.
Shawn, have you ever had to miss a concert or a show to go curling?
No, not that I can think of.
Not yet, at least.
Not well, and the opportunities for that are getting to be fewer and farther between.
Don't ever say never, right? There's always a chance.
The chances aren't. It's not feeling like there's a lot of chances. I'm just watching today, and things are starting to hurt. Matt Hall comes down and sits on top of that red stone. It's still Kleiter sitting 1. That was the 5th stone of the end, so they can make a play on the guard. Are you straight peeling this, I think? Could come straight back and try to kill 2 yellows, but you don't have to play that yet.
Some other things I've seen some teams do is play a hit and roll for a second corner guard, but don't think they're playing quite that aggressively yet.
Doesn't look like it.
Guess we're gonna have a few shots of this guard peel and go action.
Well, yeah, or we're going to see something different here. I saw Aaron Shooter just talking to Drew Heidt as this rock was being thrown, and Aaron skipped a fair bit in his own right, so they might be looking at what other options are there. That definitely overcurled, which probably influences this call as well.
That opens the door big time. Let's say a 9-second hit, like a couple inches on the inside of nose. Could probably spill both reds, no double.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
that is an interesting conversation on how to call this shot.
Well, I agree with what Drew is saying, and you want to move the red over far enough to have an escape route for the yellow. But it's I'm not positive you're not losing it with normal.
I think 9's the absolute maximum we throw here.
Depends where you hit this too.
That is pretty nifty.
It is. Kleiter's still sitting shot rock, but second shot is mostly buried.
Red just spread apart, no doubles.
And the weight was the key because, as Drew said, if you had to hit it hard enough that You know, the yellow was going to jam pretty solid. It wasn't moving. The red in the back of the 8-foot, the one that Kleiter's going after now, it had to move a long ways to make sure that yellow was clear to be removed.
Definitely the smarter, safer call here by Kleiter.
Yeah, that's all you can do is hit the open one. Even if you roll in to sit 2, though, there's probably a double available. Can you double and get a sliver under too? Almost, eh?
I think it just goes straight into the side of that red one. Will be open.
Well, even to the side, if it just rolls to the side of it, you don't want to bump it over. It's still going to be a piece in behind.
Shouldn't be a double, or it's going to be a really thin double.
It might jam, yeah. Oh, you won't leave a double on the reds. Yeah, you're right.
So that's hot. Might want to roll the other way at this point.
Yeah, so you don't leave the double. Yeah. That's not bad.
Good result. Perfect roll here should be in front of the T line.
Yeah, it will be especially with the weight they're playing. But that's the thing when you're having to roll this far. Those rolls are always tougher.
Less weight than I thought he'd throw.
Makes the hit. Makes the roll and does. Stop in behind the red stone. Now it's also in behind the T line.
Always playing the tap.
Well, that's his first thought. I'm not ultimately sure that's what they're going to stick with. The draw's got to be every bit as easy as the tap, doesn't it?
I'd say it's easier. Much easier. I forget which coach told me if you can play a shot that's just weight, or it's a weight end line, but a lot more room for tolerance on this. Yeah, there we go. Looks almost like a mixed double setup here.
Not nearly enough rocks left in play for mixed doubles.
True.
There's only 5.
I just need some legs. That's a big shot there.
Yeah, and not the way you wanted to miss it either, because now he's overlapped the reds. Yeah, I don't think you can come into the button area. You come into the button, you leave the in turn around to tap the red tighter to the 4-foot into the one that you're about to throw.
Kind of want to leave this lit. I don't want to open. You have to bury this, otherwise you leave a slash double.
I'm starting to wonder, do you have to be in the rings at all?
It's a good point.
As much, I know you don't like to guard a rock in the back of the 4-foot, and I agree with that, but
there's no way in.
There's no way in, and are you not? There's a very real risk here that when you come into the rings, you could leave them. You could leave
Tyler
Hartung in better shot shape than he is if you don't throw. You put this at the top 4-foot, like you said, he could slash the double onto the buried one at the back of the 4-foot. Then your only rock left is that wide open one.
That's getting scary.
Yeah. Like you put this right where they tap the ice. He plays the slash double, catches the one out of the back of the 4-foot.
Ooh, I don't know if I love this.
I don't for sure.
You're definitely going to see Tyler Hartung. If this is remotely where they want this to go, he's going to be playing that slash all day.
Well, he made what he called.
It's 404 on the stat sheet, but see which double they're going to be calling.
You got to play the slash double. If you play the straight back, you've still got no way to get to the other one.
No easy way, at least.
Yeah, I guess you could see enough of it to pick it.
Making the straight back double low side looks incredibly hard.
It does. Now, I mean, Tyler could throw it hard enough to make it, but you're flirting with hitting your own.
Oh, geez.
He's set high side, so they're going to play it the other way. Yeah, I'm not positive it's better to make it low, because here's the thing: if you make it low with the weight you got to throw to make it, and you roll over and you nudge your own stone on the other side of the 8-foot, now you don't have enough of that rock at the back to pick it out.
And the two reds in the middle will be lined up the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then Rylan just guards and you're hooped.
Gets one, gets two. And they can't convince the shooter to spin back in.
It is a lonely yellow, but
it is
pretty wired back there. Rylan just threw a draw.
He did, but you got to bury a good chunk of this. I mean, you leave this half open. Tyler throws the big weight well, and he'll play the slash double if that's what you leave him.
Absolutely.
It's only for two, but it's a big two at this point in the game.
Even if Rylan goes biting back four here, it's not the end of the world. Actually, maybe it would be.
Yeah, that might leave him the pick double.
Saw Matt just call on the can there.
He's got a ton of room.
Looks like he's got some weight too. Uh-oh.
This is not stopping.
That's got to hit the brakes real fast. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's looking at the run. I thought he'd pick this for sure. He could see a quarter of it.
Safer shot for two. Has anyone seen a hack in this spot yet?
I don't know if they have in this game, but again,
end sheet, wall side.
Well, and the other thing about it is these guys all know each other. They played before and against, or with and against each other many times in the past, but this is essentially a new lineup. So I don't know how much time they've had to really evaluate what they can do with the brushes. This is one, if you were confident you knew you could carve it over when you needed to, you feel a lot better about playing this shot.
Must be close.
Got to get by his own at the front. Not going to. Did he push it in for shot?
Not quite.
Nope. So it's going to be a steal of one. Rylan Kleiter dodges a bit of a bullet there. Comes heavy on his last draw, but Tyler Hartung unable to get to the shot stone. Kleiter takes a 2-0 lead into the fourth, and the Heidt team will have last rock once again.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Stronger agronomics. Better returns. Greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
Well, 2-0 here as we begin play in the fourth end. First stone brought into the rings. The corner guard goes up. They played it about a halfway. We're probably not necessarily at the point where he's going to throw double corners yet, but he could.
I think double corners probably adds a little bit more risk than he needs to at this point.
Well, and with where that first one is, it's hard to throw double corners on the same side. If he was going to throw the double now, he'd have to throw it to the other side, and it's starting to get harder to get in.
Well, the way these are set up, you might go for it the second corner.
Yeah, the two yellows aren't in very good spots, or even to come around. You certainly don't have to worry about the yellows right now.
Keeping this high is definitely key, or we're probably going to see Kleiter dig it. Don't think you're going to see him play the center guard with those.
No, especially when they're offline like that.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's too well buried, I think, is what they decided. And this is still just the fifth stone of the end. You got to be careful coming by the guard. If you ever clipped it, put it into the divider, it's a free guard zone violation.
Well, if they're playing into the house, it kind of plays a little into Height team's favor.
Yeah, I don't know what choice they have, though. That because those first two aren't in line, they're not really guardable. You guard the higher one, they've still got a shot to sit 2. If you guard the shot stone, he's got the double to sit 2.
Pretty good result from Matt Hall there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hit as well. Now you got something you can guard. So I do like getting rid of 2 reds here if they were able to, or 2 yellows. My mistake.
Yeah, I don't think with the weight they're throwing, they're going to get rid of 2. They're going to pretty much jam one. What I'd be worried about is when they jam it, they're going to spill it over towards that other red. This has got a lot of curling to do. Yeah, how far towards that red is it going to go? Not bad.
It is fully open.
Yeah, but how do you make the double now? Do you think it'll cross the yellows? It might. Or cross the red at the back?
Ooh,
go underneath it?
That's tight.
I don't think it does, yeah.
You gotta hit that second red pretty thin.
Well, it might not be there. Kleiter's going to make sure the reds go away. Even if he stuffs the first one. This is one where you could hit this just off the nose, jam it, and roll in front of the other 2 yellows, and now there's a lot of ways this can work out good for Kleiter. Make Red Rocks go away. He's got one. Oh, just by the second one. I'll be honest, I didn't see him missing it that way.
I never saw that happening. That was hard to do.
Yeah.
A little unlucky not to roll another couple inches.
True. It's tough for Jane to make anything great out of this. I mean, he could kill the back one, but it's... No, I disagree.
Need the overhead view again to see that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's awfully thin to go into the red. I don't think that's happening.
You'd have to be awfully unlucky to get that result.
But if you hit the yellow at the top of the 8 foot into the one at the edge of the 4, you're going to have a hard time getting that yellow underneath the red.
This looks like it's possible, but really hard.
Really hard. It's got to just feather tick the second one. You're probably not killing the second one. You'll kick it out into the open, which is a good shot.
See this going for the hole if he makes this.
And that's okay too, as long as you hold your shooter somewhere.
Let's throw a nice weight for this.
Just touch it, but yeah, it's still going to go into the side of that other one and didn't kill either either yellow. Kleiter's still sitting 2 and a chance to hit and sit 3.
I definitely thought that he was going to play that through the hole rather than chip the yellow one, the back yellow one.
Yeah, I didn't mind the shot that was suggested from the other end. I don't think there was any chance it was ever coming into the red like that. Now, having said that, this is still not a horrible position for the we've got him listed as Hartung now, and we had it listed as Height on the board. We're really messing me up now.
It's all Team H. That's correct both ways.
It's not a horrible situation. There's no guards in the middle.
There is stuff on the wing. It's a corner there.
Yeah.
It's wrong color, but it's a corner nonetheless.
Well, yeah, but I think we're going to see... Well, he hit it fairly... It's a thin double, but it's a double.
It's there. Should take a
And
run at it.
you could be sitting shot in third. You could just play the straight draw around the corner too. That's not bad. It's tough. The double's not easy either, but you throw it quiet. And if you hit it a little too thick, you just roll over in that neighborhood. That's fine too.
You behind the corner?
Yeah. You don't have to whip it to make this because you're hitting the first one fairly thin. And then if it over curls on you, you just hit and roll.
Yeah, just throwing like a nice 10-ish here.
Yeah, I think I heard normal, so he's going hard for the double.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't mind the quieter weight just because of the way you have to hit this. See, quarter rock makes the double. If you ever rolled up and hit half or over curled, you hit half and just roll over in that neighborhood. It's still a problem rock for Kleiter.
With the 9, you hit too thick, you probably roll over, and
you can roll over the top, and yeah, exactly.
I heard hair down. Looks like I got in the nose, almost nose. It's going to be something for... Looks like Hartung's going to have either something to hide behind or something to hit and roll off of after this is done.
He might only be facing 2 after this is done. I'm not sure that the shooter is going to be in far enough to be third shot.
You'd have to roll at least a foot to get third shot. This is curling up. Gets away with it. I am surprised they're looking at that double. I like a draw here.
Yeah, there's nothing good off the double because I'm probably jamming on. Oh, no, it's thin. Maybe it would miss the red.
I think you're drawing somewhere.
Yeah, you could go either way. You could try to get to the corner. You don't have to be perfect. Just get a piece around. They're going to try to come around the middle. If you're all the way to the back one, you're probably shot rock, I think.
Yeah, you definitely be shot. That's a really thin double off the top one if you're playing into the wing.
I don't think that's the double he's looking at. I think he's looking at the double to the back 8-foot one and roll in. It's not a horrible call. It depends where your shooter ends up.
If you do that, I just see Rylan drawing side 4, and
he's got to be careful. You make the double off the one at the back 8. You're sitting second and third.
That's true.
It's not horrible. The question is, where does the shooter end up? Like, if your shooter's going to end up partly under the yellow, then I don't like it. But if you could leave your shooter just fully open, where you could tap it up or slash it onto the yellow of the 8-foot, or where you've got some choices, this is a there's ways for this to work out really well. The broom location looks like they're throwing a lot of weight at this.
Looks pretty close, maybe a little narrow.
Maybe trying to go straight back with it instead of over the top. No, he gets it over the top, and enough.
Sitting second and third now.
And left that red stone at the top open, which is important because he can use it.
It's important enough for Rylan's come up to hit it.
Yep.
Other good opportunity for Rylan to learn this line because he's probably playing the run back on his next one. Bold assumption that Height's going to play that Tyler's going to play the draw.
Yeah, I'm not sure he is.
You think he's going to take a whack at that the double?
I'm not sure he's going to do that either. I'm looking at the red guard straight back. Even if he drives into the pocket of the yellow red, he's going to be buried shot rock. Well, it might not be there now. That little sneaky nudge that I'm not sure they were playing might have helped them out.
Even before that, run back looks really hard to me.
I'll tell you right now, Tyler Hartung's never seen a run back he doesn't like. They're going to play the draw, though.
Wow, almost 5 feet of ice on this.
Nothing out of the sweepers. They think it's heavy. They're standing straight up, but they're staying with it. Ends up in the back forefoot.
Makes the run back a little harder.
Yeah, it probably talks Rylan into playing the draw. It's one of those ones where it's hard to know if that's a good shot until you see where Rylan puts this one. Here's the thing, though. If you knew it was going to be deep, you might have preferred to be another foot deeper. You'd still have been shot rock, and if he follows it down, you've got an easier shot to score.
I was a little surprised they weren't carving it more.
Or they thought it was heavier, too. I think they were scared it was going to be all the way through the 8 foot. But if you knew it was going to be behind the tee line, another rocked width deeper, if Rylan plays the freeze, you've still got room to score.
Yeah,
they did talk him into the run back, apparently. But, I mean, if he sticks the run back, you're still in trouble because this will be right on the tee line.
Give yourself 2 feet of room rather than 1 foot of room. Must be close. Nice shot. So that control weight run back is such a weapon these days. They're so controlled, stick everything. Easy to manage with the brooms.
The good news for Tyler Hartung is he did just throw this shot. Granted, he was a little deeper than they would have liked, but it's the same path. Needs full 4 foot. Can pick up his single point here, get on the board. Keep this game close. Final stone, 4th end. Brusher's cleaning this one. They didn't touch the first one at all. Backing away again, saying it looks heavy. The line looks like it's curling fine.
Curling like it's nice.
Yeah, it's curling like the weight's good. Comes right down to the corner.
He's got his draw weight.
And he's got a single point. It's Rylan Kleiter with a 2-1 lead after 4 ends of play, and he will have last rock when we come back For the fifth end, it's the Curling Stadium Martensville International.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Well, two to 1 for Kleiter here as we begin play in the fifth. Shawn, Joyce, Daniel Wenzek on the call for you here from Martensville. Tiebreaker action on late Saturday night or now early Sunday morning here in Saskatchewan.
Some midnight madness curling action here. Say these teams would much rather be here than out.
Even Drew Heidt, who had to rush back from the Jelly Roll concert just to be here for this game. And both of them hoping that they have to be back here at 9 o'clock in the morning for first practice.
First practice, some points, some coin. I'm wondering if Trevor Johnson's rocks are matched. There's been a couple of times where his second rock's overcurled on him unexpectedly.
Yeah, and as much as I've seen this team play, and it's been a fair bit over the last couple of years, I'll be honest with you, I don't know for sure. Every team's got a different strategy if they've got a mismatched stone, who they give it to. But it's not always the lead anymore. With a lot of teams, if you got a mismatched stone, it goes to the second because those lead stones and positioning them is so important.
I've played second the last 3 years, and usually if we got bad stones, I end up taking them.
Depends what you think they're doing. The other side of it is if you've got two stones where one curls a little bit more, sometimes you will give those to the lead. He'll throw the straight one for the guard and the second one for the come around. That could be the situation. Just because they've got one that curls more doesn't mean they're not aware of it.
I've heard of a couple teams where they might give it to the skips. So they got a nice little cutter for some fun digs. Or
I can tell you as a skip, you love to, as long as the speed's close to the same, you'd love to have one rock that curls a little bit more. Straight double peel the guards is good. There is a chance it comes back, and they won't mind disturbing those rocks in the rings. This sounds a little thin just by the lack of sweep calls. Just picks the high one.
Seems like a little bit of decision for Heidt here, whether they want to go in or chuck another long one. The long one as a second is always scary because usually you never play those until it's crunch time.
Well, and especially because of where they've only got the one guard right now, and it's not real tight, so it's a little tougher to get separation throwing the high one. It would have to be just over the hog line.
That's pretty nice freeze there.
Yeah, you've got the good angle on both of the red-yellow combinations.
I guess Rylan's just single peeling this.
I would think so. Now you have to make a decision when you want to make a play. I definitely would imagine they're throwing at least one more guard and maybe two.
I have a feeling it's going to be one more guard, but we'll see.
Yeah. You have to guard the yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to think you're right. It's probably only one more. It'd be awfully risky to throw two, let Rylan change gears on you.
You do it on, you make the move on skips first. You have enough time to move them.
Well, but the problem is you're only one down, and if Rylan ever changed gears on you, you could give up a deuce here in a hurry.
Where to go? Deal as expected. I think we're about to see the move here. You're thinking.
Well, and the question is then, what is the move? So do you hit it right on the nose? Do you hit it 3/4 high side and try to roll them both a little bit that way? Like, you don't want to leave a double in reds very bad.
That's the play. You're probably hitting the nose then.
With
I don't know how much
a little bit of weight. I'm thinking 3/4 high side, and you try to leave everything lined up onto the red, yellow, and the forefoot.
Can you throw enough weight or like light enough weight to stick it and kill the yellow?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That middle red looks like it's either going a long way or your shooter's going a long way. These rocks do look reasonably lively, but I haven't been to the Cohen Club here, so you'd probably be able to speak to that better than I can.
I actually can't because these are brand new rocks this year. I haven't thrown them yet.
Oh boy. So there's probably some bounce to them.
You would think so. The striking bands don't look very wide, but I've seen a few games this weekend even where it doesn't always look like the rocks roll as far as you think they're going to. I do think they're trying to hit it a hair high, even if you just roll the raised stone a little bit to the broom side and then roll the shooter big to the broom side. You leave a couple of rocks, you could run into that red. You're still looking at the force. You're not looking at a steal at all. Yeah, there you got a good lineup on those reds. Lost the shooter. That's unfortunate.
And they're probably gonna unlock that back yellow one too.
Yeah, you don't have to throw big here. If you could just touch that second red on the way by enough to unlock it. That's greedy. I'm getting greedy now.
It looks pretty reasonable.
It's
probably not leaving play.
When
Gotta
they,
hit
when they,
pretty bad.
they throw these quiet weight shots so much that they probably feel a lot more confident making a play at that. If you happen to miss the back red and just hang your shooter on the corner, that's not bad either. But if you could unlock it, gets one. Oh, drive it by this. I think they thought they had it.
Good news is it doesn't look like there's a yellow double.
Not quite. It's close.
That's pretty. That's too thin. Might barely be.
I think so. I think it's too thin.
You're flirting with disaster, though.
Yeah.
Perfect roll here for Tyler's probably 2.5, 3 feet in. Is that probably too much?
Yeah, tough roll. You know, I'm not sure, because here's what's going to happen is Kleiter's going to try to hit and roll all the way past the other two.
Then there's no double.
But it's so you want to leave that as tough as possible. At the same time, you don't want to let him hit and sit out in the corner still.
So he's going to play hit and roll the wing here. I think.
Yeah.
Though.
Boy, I think if you're playing the double, it's probably a triple and you're going to blank and you got to make it. I don't think you're saving your own play in that. I liked your call. Hit and roll to the wing off the wide open one.
I mean, both are good calls. Just make the one you call. You just can't nose this, that side one.
Yeah.
One thing you can't do, really.
They still do have the option to try to roll underneath, which, and only because I've seen how well they play the quiet weight. Like you're playing it with hack weight, try to hit a quarter, kill that stone and roll behind the red, yellow, and past it so that he doesn't line anything up. I mean, it's there. It's tough. They play those shots really well, though.
I think Brad Gushue got so good at those that it's kind of trickled its way down men's play.
They're going to go after the double. They think they can miss the yellow one, I think, is what I heard.
That's wishful thinking. They make it against really good.
Well, you got to be a little on the thin side of the first one, which maybe means you hit the back side of the second red. That's not necessarily the worst thing in the world because you maybe don't leave a double if you do that, but you're flirting with missing the red one.
I think they're pretty happy with the blank here.
Yeah, they take it.
And
that is not going to be thin. Without being able to see the broom, I'll tell you, he was narrow on that one. Makes the triple.
Double.
Yeah, we can't see the whole sheet from the camera view, but I knew where the broom was and I saw where he let it go. He was inside. He wasn't going to miss. He wasn't going to miss it wide.
Got to make sure you hit the rocks.
That's just it. You make the triple, at least you know you got a chance for the blank. It was really going to be tough to not touch that yellow anyway. Sweeping for curl early. They'd like to hold the shooter and at least make Rylan have to go after this. And they do.
Mission accomplished. Shawn, out of all the blank puns that are going around these days, which is your favorite?
Are there puns going around? I don't know.
Well, I know I keep hearing John Cullen talking about Blanksville, and I'm sure there's other ones. Just clean.
Nothing for nobody. Kleiter still with a 2-1 lead, and he will carry that last rock advantage into the 6th end of play.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Well, the first guard is up, but it's well off the center line. And we didn't see how that happened. So a come-around attempt on that now by Trevor Johnson.
I think we're going to see a lot of rocks in play here with that one.
Well, and the question now becomes, you almost have to, if you're Drew Heidt, Tyler Hartung, you almost have to throw a second guard. Well, where do you put it? If you line it up to the first guard, it's not very good. If you leave it on an angle, there's going to be a double peel attempt later on.
I think the play here is they want to go to the wing. You got to pull them back to the middle.
You heard them say they want to get that center line so that at least this stone's in the no-tick zone.
I keep forgetting that the no-tick zone's a thing because it's just become kind of ingrained in us now.
Kleiter will come around again. Heidt will have to call some kind of a freeze if this is made well to the top of the house. And then the peels will begin. And the question will be, does he try the double peel or do you just straight peel the center line one?
We'll have to wait and see where this one ends up first.
Yeah.
This is a reasonably big shot. This might be in lead second.
I was just going to say, is that too high? Does he have room to come right around everything? Mike?
Exactly where I was kind of thinking too.
I would have thought you would have wanted to bite forefoot on that. Yeah, they're going to freeze, but as long as your shot rock, they've still got to do something with it later.
Whole forefoot's open for a second point later.
This has got a ton of room.
Always curl is not what you want to hear early. Oh, we're taking the offensive route.
Well, you almost have to. I mean,
too good right now to not do it.
Yeah.
Let Heidt play the run backs.
If you're going to peel, I think in this case you're just peeling the one and you're peeling it towards the one they just threw.
This is, for their objective, this is probably the best call.
Yeah. I still don't hate the hit on the other one. I don't think you want to roll dead buried. I think you want to roll about half behind, but
this is decision point for Kleiter if they're going to put more rocks in play here or not. Ooh.
Got one, but he drove it onto his own.
And opens up the path.
It's not an ideal path. You come in, there's probably a double off the red. I think you're still throwing a guard.
I'll be guarding for a while.
Yeah. You might have to guard this for your life, honestly. Because if you ever come in around the guard, how do you not leave a double?
It's pretty automatic.
But there's no shot on the other side. I mean, you could, as much as this has only got half the 4 foot, you could, if you could guard this right through the last stone, and it could actually steal you a point. Like, how do you draw in to beat it right now if you guard it?
That's true. Because you need to play a hack weight dig on it.
You get the guard in a good spot. That's a hard shot. It's funny because you'd think, hey, we get a rock to the button, we'll guard that for our life. But just because of the way the situation is on the other half of the sheet, you guard this stone for the rest of the end, right up to even the skip's last stone. How does Rylan get a point? Where's his way in?
It'll be very difficult. Gotta make sure you get over there.
I gotta believe it will.
There it goes.
Might be tighter than they would have liked. There's doubles definitely there, and do you roll in if you make it? Yeah.
That's starting to look a little scary.
Everybody's thinking greedy. Matt's thinking greedy. I'm thinking greedy. You're thinking greedy. It's
hard to not think greedy in this situation.
Let's get the double and roll in. It does look like it's probably there.
Looks like it's kind of wired to do so. Just natural.
You know, they were so worried about sweeping that to get it to curl, and it ended up curling plenty. But by sweeping that a little bit, they might have brought it in too deep. Gets one, gets two, rolls in.
Rolls in for fun. These last two shots have definitely been end changers. I'm a little surprised they're playing the guard and not going to swoop.
I'm not. Like, Drew talked about it, but I see what Tyler's thinking. Like, if you get just across the center line underneath the yellow, how does he peel it? It's going into those yellows. You got to get a sliver underneath. And then you're protecting a piece of the button as well.
Then Round's probably got to play the triple peel, I guess, which looks a little funny.
Yeah.
And Drew Height's doing anything he can to get play back to the middle.
Well, and part of their thinking has to be they really need to steal here. A force still push you 2 down, playing 7. That's not ideal. That's in a great spot.
I got the stats up. Oddly, a force here is better than a blank.
Oh, better than a blank for sure, but I don't see a blank happening.
Not at this point.
Yeah. Rylan, it's sixth end. Rylan Kleiter, again, we talked about it earlier. It's one of those teams, and so many of them nowadays are very conscious of even and odd ends. And the teams that like that hammer in the even end, he's okay with taking one if he has to here. That still puts him 2 up, and presumably he's going to have the hammer coming home.
A lead and 2 hammers to 1. You take that every day.
Yeah. I have to think Heidt and Hartung are as happy with this call as they could be. Yes, they're in a little bit of trouble, but they've got Kleiter drawing, and that's really their only chance to get a steal here if they can keep some rocks in play.
You gotta take a risk.
You are second if you freeze. I don't mind that.
There's no peel.
Drew had to look real quick and count rocks. How many do we have left? Yeah, you corner freeze that. Well, here's the other side of it. Go back to the other part of the conversation. If you corner freeze that yellow, we're back to, again, what does Rylan Kleiter do? He can't peel it. He can't hit any of the red ones without driving them into a yellow. You can always come around it after they're overlapped. Rylan's not coming around that.
Rylan's not tapping it because he's going to give him a tap.
Yeah.
He's not guarding. Guarding's just going to hurt him.
No. Boy, I like the first call. You come back before he's going to chisel it is what he's going to do.
You mean chisel the top one?
No. He'll chase your back for and just try to move it as far as he can and roll open.
Well, it's only going to be half open here.
That's plenty. He doesn't need to stay back there. He just needs to move the red one. I like the freeze.
Freeze.
I like Tyler's shot because this is still third's last stone.
You gotta minimize your damage here.
Well, it's still a rock that, like, what does Kleiter do with his next one if you freeze this? This is... Yeah, Kleiter just hits and rolls open a little bit now. And now if you play to the back 4 again, he might be able to come off of his own stone.
Yeah, you got to roll away. Can't nose.
Yeah, he's got to roll away, but he doesn't have to roll necessarily all the way out. If he rolls full 8 foot,
that's really good.
Yeah. And now we're getting to the point where you could freeze that top one on the last stone because you still got 2 stones left. I don't know if it's any good for Tyler to freeze the top one now. I think you're almost committed now.
This is Carolyn.
Yeah, they're going to have to hold this. They don't want to stay right there for sure. And they're going to.
There. Door opened.
Yeah, the straight draw is tough. It's hard to get far enough to the inside to really bury. It's much easier. Pick your weight, and I think I heard hack, but you're playing in off that yellow.
I really like, call it that 6 feet through to hackish weight. Just enough weight to actually be able to roll under and not leave the yellow one sitting there. In case you ever chiseled and sat there, they have an in off. You don't want that in off.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest shot of the game so far.
Brush was on early and all the way down. plan B now. They're not getting by the top one. Well, I think they wanted to get by the guard, though, and they just miscalled that. When they realized it was on, I think they wanted to get by that one and catch the yellow at the top of the 4-foot. And that's what happens with, when you got two guys that, well, four guys really as a team, but two guys in the brush that they really don't know what they could do with the brooms yet. They carved it a little bit and they end up rubbing the guard. Where do you put this one if you're Rylan? I think all of the options they just discussed are good.
Top 8, top 4.
You get the little tap on that one and roll over and cover it. You stop short like that and cover it. You draw, nibble the 4-foot. That might leave a triple. I don't love that. A triple and spin.
As long as there's no triple and spin under, you're going to have a hit for 3.
Yeah, I think there would be if you write even with the other one. I don't think you want to be there.
No, you got to be higher. Higher or lower, just not next to it.
Or underneath it. You can be full 4. You can be full 12. I don't think you want to be right beside that stone that's just nibbling the top of the 4-foot. That looks like
there.
Yeah, that looks like a triple and spin up under, and then you're forced. And this is an opportunity perhaps to get an extra half hour sleep tonight, because this could be game right here.
Did I hear 2?
Yeah, that's not good.
Is something going on with the ice there? That's 2 and that's...
I don't know. Well, that's your get out of jail free card. You freeze to... Well, he's looking at moving it. Do you have to? Freeze to the inside corner here. How do you not steal? Yeah.
Just lob one in there.
Lock it right on the corner of that stone, and how does he move it? I don't see a way to get to it.
Because that top 4 rock takes away that slash.
Yeah.
No run. I guess there's a long run, but oh boy. I lied before. This is the most important shot of the this is the game so far. This is a slightly different track.
Yeah, needs to get at least to the nose. I don't think that he's going to.
He shot.
Taps it enough to be shot, but did he leave enough room to get to the inside? He had a ton of room by the guard. It's probably not for any more than 2, I wouldn't think. But it's probably there. Oh boy, the pick looks really tough.
I don't know if the pick... I guess the pick in theory is there.
Yeah, you take it off the yellow and it would be for 3. It's really tough.
Oh.
You can throw it hard enough. Yeah, exactly. Like a quarter rock, I think is still sticking it. You're going to be
even an inch
almost missing it. Yeah, as thin as you can, and it's probably still touching the yellow. But if you throw it hard enough, it'll go.
If it touches that yellow at all, it stays. I like the soft weight. You don't have to move that red rock. What? Inch, if that?
Yeah, it's just a draw, get to the inside corner and nudge it for 2. I don't think there's any way you're getting more than 2 with this shot, but 2's still good.
You're basically throwing cold draw and sweep it to back 4.
If there's anything that's scary about this, it's got to be what you've just seen with the last 3 rocks, though. Tyler and Rylan's first one got closer to that center line, and it both seemed like they they died or mucked up or curled or something. And then that last one for Tyler, it takes a little more ice, and it slid better, but it stayed out there all day. Never got really to the line they were looking for.
Comparatively, that one ran forever.
So he's got a lot less ice here than what Tyler had, and now you worry, does he get into that mucky path in the middle? And we're guessing it was a mucky path just because 2 in a row did that. It seems awfully early to see any fudging. We haven't seen a lot of that this weekend.
Ooh, he's not what you want to hear here.
He's definitely tighter by the guard.
Line looks pretty money here.
He could get this for more than 2. Oh, just caught. It really stopped curling coming in. He gets just the single. So a nice draw by Tyler Hartung with his last one. Dodges a bit of a bullet. Forces the single, and he'll have last rock in 7. Trailing by 2. It's tiebreaker action here late Saturday night, and now no matter where you are in Canada, early Sunday morning.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Probably a few nervous moments there as we watch that stone come to rest. It is a corner guard. I'm not sure they were entirely sure it was going to stop. It's tight, but it is a corner guard. Trevor Johnson threw his first one into the rings. They'll be looking to come in again. They don't need to see any more guards.
We're probably going to end up seeing double guards from Team
Yeah, I would tend to think so. And that may be why they played that guard as tight as they want to play the 2 corners on the same side, perhaps. That's been an interesting thing the last couple of years to see how teams like to play the 2 corner guard situation. You will see, and you're seeing it go actually more to the more traditional. There he goes. He's going to throw it to the other side, which was the more traditional way to see it done. Although in the last couple of years, you've seen teams stack them on the same side to make sure they don't block both draw paths to the button. And I think this season I've noticed teams going more back to this traditional split the house double corner. It does mean you have to be a little careful with your placement on the corners. You don't want to block both of your paths to the middle. So you maybe go a little wider with the corners, or as the case with his first one, a little tighter. So the draw path is still there to the button.
Both
got
nice.
It even. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Draw path is there.
And this is the other side of that script, right? You're going to throw your 2 rocks to the middle. You know the 2 corner guards are coming up, and if everything's good in the middle in, you throw one more guard. You throw 1 guard. This is the 5th stone of the end. They know the rocks can start getting moved around after that. But you've put 3 in the middle that Drew Height's going to have to deal with. And you're hoping that while he deals with those, you can deal with the corner guards. Cat and mouse, but it's fun to watch.
This is an important shot too, because this kind of has to be perfect. Otherwise, you can start seeing them play some digs, rearrange the furniture, and game on. This is looking pretty darn good.
No. Is it too tight, though? Could you play the...
So play the short run here for sure.
Yeah, the hack to bumper. Yeah, exactly. You keep your shooter up there. I think they're talking about more weight, killing some yellows. It's still critical to keep your shooter out in front. I don't hate leaving a yellow in the back of the house either. So what they're thinking, just on the broom side, yellow onto yellow, and it actually might clip the one off the button. So you might kill the back 2, and you'll jam the first one if you're doing that, but it's only in the 12-foot. Have to hold the shooter here.
Oh, look back.
Yeah, that's never good. Might have slid over top of something. Or it might just be some fudge. I mean, that's that same path they were having trouble with coming into the house. Worked out really good.
3 guards.
Whatever you slid over, maybe try to slide over it again on the next one, because that worked out pretty good.
Good luck, fudge.
Yeah, those 2 Yellowstones, nothing better than full 12. You got 3 guards to work with.
And your opposition's not peeling.
Well, what do you peel? How do you peel them all?
You can't. It's a pretty nice setup right now.
It's hard to even make 2 of them go away. The easiest double is you run the risk of jamming it onto the yellow. Ooh, lost the hack on that throw.
A little deeper than they probably wanted.
You could play the same shot. Stuff the red onto the yellow, catch the one on the button on the way by again. Red onto yellow just by the one in the rings, but does leave all the reds up front.
Left a little bit of a stagger. Probably get to that center line one on nose, but other positive for Drew Height here is got those corner guards to run in, but the being so tight angle.
Yeah, I don't know if he's. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be running them yet. All depends where this one ends up. Like you've got the nose hit on the center line red guard. You could split the 2 reds, sit second and third. This is going to be long.
This is that same track going home that they're both teams are getting a little fooled on earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. You corner freeze the shot stone. Then you've got the angle run in on the wide corner that could be for 3. And still lots of time to set something up on the other side, too.
You just need options.
Yep. If you're greedy here, And we've both demonstrated that we can be. If you're greedy here, if you're Drew Heidt, you want to not just get the corner freeze, but you'd love to line up the angle on this corner freeze so that it might catch the yellow at the back of the 12 as well.
That is an extremely greedy comment there.
But that's what you want, right? If you line everything up to that one, what does Rylan Kleiter do after that? Like, I can't imagine he guards because you're one run away from giving up 3.
I can't. The hit and roll, he's just going to lop another one in there. Like hitting the guard.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. This is a long ways out there. Curling now. Yeah, they just had to wait a little bit too long for it to start curling. Now it's still in a not bad spot. Rylan can't really get it out. There's a run on the other side for 2 still.
Can't really throw weight at the red one that was just thrown by Drew.
No, yeah, you can't make a play on it. There's 2 yellows you could kill.
I think the only person on the sheet who can dig it like that's the guy throwing here. Yeah, the Height team can't throw weight at that one.
This cannot be the end that Kleiter wants to play. You're 2 up playing 7. Your opposition has thrown 5 rocks, and they're all in play in front of the tee line, and you still can't throw a hit.
You haven't thrown a hit yet this end.
Yeah. What? This is not the way you wanted to play this end.
Makes that one corner slosh a lot harder now.
Yeah, that's probably pretty good.
We're going to see them play a tap of some sort. Question's what?
Yeah.
None of those angles look great to me.
Well, if you could get the tap to the corner freeze and stay right there, everything could be pretty good. Now it's not shaping up for 3 anymore, but it would still be lined up pretty well for 2. You tap to frozen and roll away to the corner, which is the other option they're talking about. You're still looking at a run in to get your deuce. I like the draw tap and just kind of try to stay right there. The problem is we're seeing some what we think is fudging going down the middle. Like even the last one, they waited so long for it to curl and then it died on them. They ended up whatever it is, 2 feet short of the freeze.
Especially that draw path is so finicky. Probably, like the null kind of result I see here is you might make good contact on that red one. It doesn't move.
If you did, well, what I'm looking at, if you dead froze the corner of your red but lined it up to the yellow, is that bad right now? It's probably not. It's probably pretty good.
Pretty good. You have an in off, like skinny and in.
Oh, hack is not what they wanted to throw here.
Uh-oh.
And you know, that's the kind of thing that happens when you get a little fudgy down the middle, because you throw a little extra weight to get through the fudge. And Now, because you're heavier, it doesn't curl. You don't get into the fudge and right through the back. Kleiter could almost throw the guard now.
That run in on the side one looks, or the skinny in off looks really tough, no matter how you slice it.
Yep.
That's a little bit deep. I guess if you're buried, though, it's not going to matter.
Is Hartung playing the centerline red one into the 12-foot red one, into the 8-foot red one, into the shot stone? That's what I'm seeing. If he makes this guard,
you're seeing.
But I still think you have to play that. It's a triple raise, not with big weight. Red onto the red in the 12-foot, onto the red at the 8-foot,
with like to the board weight.
Out of your hand, yeah, which is only just going to move that one off the button, but it should leave the third raise stone in a pretty good spot. The angle looks about right to do it. And as much as it's 3 stones, I mean, they're only 3 feet apart, 3 feet apart again. Like, it's not a lot of distance to have to predict the angles.
And it's late enough that any hit Height could still get to. Gonna be tricky, though.
Well, if nothing else, it could improve the angles in the house because, like you said, that either of the slashes right now, the angle's not great for Hartung to make them. See, that's Tyler's looking at what I'm looking at.
I kind of like that. I was looking at it earlier.
But he's looking at over the top to try to get the yellow.
Get the yellow. You got to play yellow, red, yellow to get that. That's looking gross. I'm like over the top with the drag. The drag just makes this so much harder to get that top yellow, but I don't see that ever happening.
Yeah, what happens if he hits the yellow that was just thrown into the red at the 12-foot? Could you get like slightly across the top? Could you double the 2 yellows, the 8-foot and the 4-foot, or the 8-foot and the button?
I think it's just so thin, you're not going to have any speed on it if you get it. Just because of the drag, it's going to pull that red too far off to the side. Like,
if Tyler wants to stick it, he can throw it more than hard enough to do that. Like, that's,
I believe that.
That's in his wheelhouse.
It's just so thin on that red rock to get contact on those 2 in the 4-foot.
Well, even if you just stuff the one in the 8-foot and miss the one on the button, you're like still back to sitting second and third and possibly a chance for 3.
This in off like into the crotch of the yellow red top 8. That's a way easier than this is.
Are you playing that as an in off or as a slash?
I think you got to in off because you need your action.
It's tough either way. It's so thin.
No picnic here.
Nope.
I actually kind of now looking at that in off. I kind of like it because if you can ever pick that one off of the top 8, it opens up the other slash and Round's got to make a move on it, and you could leave the run for a pile potentially. You got a few ways to make it. You could also get lucky and go out red into the top 12 straight back and get that way too.
Yeah.
There's no picnic. Looks like we're going for the top.
Yeah, he's going for it a little different than what I had in mind. He's actually trying to go well across the top of the red and the 12-foot and bring that red and the 12-foot back onto the yellow. I mean, even if it's into the middle of the 2 of them, it's not bad. I was thinking the other way. Just kind of keep them on the line they're at now, and that second red looks like it goes across the top of the 3rd one enough that it would come back towards the one in the button.
Potentially the third way to make this is if it goes into the yellow that Rylan just threw straight back. That could be a way to get it too.
Yeah, you're awfully thin on the first one then, though, too. It depends what the weight he is. With that broom, he's throwing a little bit of weight at this. So he's got to be hoping it's going on to a yellow one then. If he's throwing weight, he's trying to kill something. That is interesting because he brought another one into the rings. So he's got second, he's got fourth, and he's got fifth. And there is a double on the two yellows that are there.
I think there's a triple actually. Or
doesn't need the back one, yeah.
For Kleiter.
For Kleiter? Yeah.
It's also triple. I think it's wired actually. Might jam the back one though.
Might jam the back one. Yeah, to get the double on the 2 and the 8 foot, I don't think you could hit the first one too thin. I think it's always hitting the second yellow and into the red. The question is, where do you have to hit it to get that third red one? And it's not just make contact. It's like you said, there's that yellow at the back of the 12 foot that it could end up spinning into. Because where your shooter's going to end up, you're probably leaving a triple on the yellows.
You kind of hope you're hoping that your shooter skirts back just a little bit. I think it's about a third. Third looks close. It's very close.
It did catch the back one, though. He actually brought both of the yellows back, though, and now they're all so close together. I don't know that there's enough separation to kill all three of them.
I don't see a triple. I think it just stuffs. You can get two for sure.
Well, if you're the tick bang double, you might get all three of them. Again, you've got to really fire it. You might get all three of them moving, but the back one might be coming into the redstone at the back. No, it'll go past it. So you're basically looking to just touch the one that's just touching the center line. Clip it across the top of the one on the button. Hopefully they both fly. The one behind the broom should go easy, but you're really thin on the first one, and this is going to be coming with some speed.
Over under on 5.5 seconds.
Oh, under. This is 5. Yeah. He's got to touch that one on the center line first. I don't think it's going to.
Slug gloves.
It's going to be a steal of 2, and that is going to be handshakes. Rylan Kleiter picks up 2 points, a steal here in the 7th, and a 5-1 victory in this tiebreaker game. That'll move him into the playoffs in 8 hours' time. Sleep quick, guys. And sleep quick for me as well. And Daniel, are you on in the morning? You're not on in the morning. You get to sleep in. On. You get to sleep in.
It's a little early for my blood in the morning. Well, here. Night's still young, right?
Good for you. And thanks for joining us for the late night. Thanks to you at home who stayed up with us and watched this tiebreaker game. It's been an exciting round-robin competition through the first 2 days here in Martensville. We've got the playoffs starting in 8 hours' time, 9:30 local time tomorrow morning from the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. On behalf of myself, Shawn, Joyce, my partner for this game, Daniel Wenzek. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for all of the playoff action tomorrow morning. 3 draws through to the championship tomorrow afternoon.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Started as late as it did, but it's a decent game.
It was a very good game.
All right. Well, we'll look for you. Maybe we'll catch you with one next weekend or something. Have a good night.
Take care, everyone.